This is the play of the season.
Stream the Philly special now on the ESPN app.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Bert Kreischer is here. We're doing the scene, and all I have to do is listen to this guy, and I'm just listening in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote the scene, so I know what it is, but I'm listening to him deliver it to me. I'm just like, huh. And I hear them laughing in Video Village, and I don't know why. I go, what's going on? Leanne goes, honey, watching you listen is like watching a bear roller. I know that it's happening, but it doesn't seem like it should happen, and it's so funny.
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
This is TGL on ESPN, live in prime time. Come on! Join Tiger, Rory, and the PGA Tour's biggest names in a season-long head-to-head competition. Oh my! Combining the top players with advanced technology. More screens, more moving greens, more history in the making. Yes!
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Scott Tyson here with your 97.7 ESPN The Zone Sports Minute. Tuesday night SEC basketball. Despite a late rally, Auburn would come up on the short end at home last night to Vanderbilt 84-76. The Tigers, who trailed by 14 points in the second half, would pull within 4 with 2:42 remaining, but could not get any closer. Auburn travels to number 21 Arkansas Saturday. The Razorbacks on the road last night taking on LSU. Freshman sensation Darius Acuff Jr. would have 28 points on the night. Arkansas knocks off LSU 91-62. The Alabama High School Athletic Association has postponed the Class 1A Area 16 basketball tournament. This after Oakwood Adventist and the Jackson County school systems got conflicting temporary restraining orders. In a statement, the AHSAA saying the games will be postponed pending further court review. Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog,
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like L. McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
It must be a Wednesday. I called it hump day.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Mike. What day is it, Mike? Let's guess what today is.
It's hump day.
Maybe it is hump day in the doghouse. It's a potpourri Wednesday. As always in the doghouse, we got a number of things to get to with you guys, and we're going to do the best we can to cover as much of it as possible while giving you as much room as well to get into the show as well. We're going to get an update from the Plains at the bottom of this hour with Justin Ferguson of the Auburn Observer, as the Tigers just could not dig out of that first half hole last night at home against the Commodores of Vanderbilt, number 19 Commodores. That's a good win for Vanderbilt, not a good loss, though, for Auburn. At the bottom of hour number 2, David Moulton of Miller and Moulton in the Morning will join us with his final Super Bowl thoughts as we look to the offseason and what fan bases have, hope that they can still be playing next February. Jared Dubin of CBSSports.com offers a list of teams that could make a big move, And he does not list a team that I think could make a big move, but he has given us a list of teams that he thinks could make a big move. So we'll get into that as well with David. And look, I'm going to call it right now. The season is opening Chiefs at Seahawks. Now, the question is, will it be a Thursday night opener or will it be a Wednesday night opener? Because the league, this game in Australia between the Rams and the 49ers, a key divisional game in the NFC West, a game that could be a preview of the NFC Championship game, that game that is going to be played 16 hours away in Australia is going to be like on what day? I mean, it like here, it could be a Thursday or Friday. It's a half a world away. It could be, with the time zones and everything. That game actually could end up being the Thursday game, and the Seahawks against the Chiefs, maybe the Bears. I think the two options are the Chiefs and the Bears at home for the Seahawks. If they've got any inkling at all that Patrick Mahomes is going to be good to go to open the season, it'll be Chiefs at Seahawks. That game could be on a Wednesday. I'll tell you right now, that could be a Wednesday. Could happen. We'll also ask David, what is he looking forward to sports-wise now? There's a rhythm to the year. There's a whole rhythm to the year. For me, look, I'm into the Olympic hockey tournament. The men start today, not our men, not us. Remember, it's the only time I allow you to say we or us. There's two. One, you have to have played for the people. Like Wes Neighbors, when he's talking about Alabama, could say us or we because he is an alum. He played there. He is a we. Okay, so they can do that. The rest of us can't. Unless you played there, you can't. All right, and you can't when you're talking about your team. If you're talking about the Falcons or the Titans, unless you played for the Falcons or the Titans, you can't come in here and say, well, we need to do this. I don't want to hear from Bama Brad saying that, we need to make sure that we take care of Caleb Williams. No, you don't get to say that. It's not we, except for the U.S. Because we are all the U.S., except for maybe AC. You know what I mean? The rest of us were U.S. So we can say, we need to beat, we beat the snot out of Canada yesterday in women's hockey. We can say that we beat the snot out of Canada because we are all the U.S. Now, the U.S. men don't start until Thursday afternoon. But there is hockey men's style. So I'm into the hockey. Of course, I'm definitely into tomorrow's going to be a huge day. Huge day for me. We got another Bassmaster Elite Series event going on down at Lake Martin tomorrow. So that'll be on in the studio in the morning. Pucks in the afternoon from the Olympics. And then tomorrow night, the Twin 150s, duels, whatever they call them now. We got that tomorrow night from Daytona. And then right after that is the special that Fox produced on Dale Earnhardt. We've lost Dale Earnhardt. This is the 25th anniversary. I cannot believe this. It's the 25th anniversary of Dale Earnhardt's passing. So tomorrow, big day tomorrow. But, I'm into the Daytona 500. I'm into the golf. Of course, spring ball's coming up, things like that. I'm definitely into evaluation for the draft and stuff like that as well. But for me, it'll be the pucks, the college basketball. We got the March Madness, got the SEC tournament. There's a rhythm. And then, pitchers and catchers are in camp right now. So there's baseball. Then baseball opens up, and then I'm watching baseball every night. I don't sit there and hang on the entire game, but I watch my team pretty much every night. I see at least some, if not all of the game. I usually don't start it live. I let it build up a little bit so that I got, so I can zip through the game in an hour and 20 minutes. So we wonder what David, what his rhythm is. We'll talk about that. Phone lines are open. Feel free to jump in and contribute. 256-576-4977. That number is good wherever and however you consume the show. We got the text window open as well. We'll read and react to those on the air for you. You want to hit the text window? It's 7329 TA show, which is 732-982 Check that. Yeah, 982-7469. You think I would know that number? I'm trying to multitask over here. I didn't even tell the boys what I'm talking about on the show today. They're like, do you think maybe you could tell us something about what you're doing on the show today? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still getting into the groove of the new time slot, which is the old time slot. So I was doing multiple things, and then the next thing you know, it's like there's a show. It's like I got to do this thing. So you can watch the show as well, WZZN TV on the YouTube, the Facebook, the X. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. You can find it there. And I'm just going to tell you this right off the top. The image in the background is a beautiful golf course image, summertime, warm weather. I'm just feeling that right now. Okay, I'm feeling that right now. So that's out there for you. That's just an image in the back, just to kind of warm the cockles of your heart. All right, that's what's it's out there right now. All right, item number one. Look, I get what Nate Oates is saying, and I get what Nate Oates is selling, but it's time to kind of move on.
Yeah, it's a good team that beat us here last year. We've got to make sure we're ready for them. They've got a multitude of players that are playing. The kid Camerdine, played with JDA Dijon in France. It's the first tier France division. He's a pro that played a lot of years of professional basketball before he came over here. So he's good. He's been starting at the point for him. We've got to make sure we're ready. Yeah.
All right, look, we get it. It's not apples and oranges. It's like green apples and red apples, okay? It's not exactly apples and oranges, but it's not exactly the Bediako situation. We know what he's doing. We get that he's throwing shade. Okay, the kid's a pro. We get it. He didn't go to college and then leave for the draft and then go play in the G League for 3 years and then come back to college. That's the main difference. Look, do I like the fact that European kids who have been pros for 4 or 5 years, can then come to college and go to college? No. Do I even understand some of the different things that are out there? Like I had talked about Chris Weinke making, $500,000 playing baseball and then coming and playing college football. No, doesn't make sense. The consistency is not there. We get it. Everybody knows. Nate Oates has to get off of this bandwagon now. All right. Now he has to get off of this because this is a guy that 2 years ago was one of the most respected head coaches in the entire country. Everybody loved Nate Oates. Nate Oates was up for, every time a blue blood job opened up, Alabama fans would start being nervous that they're going to lose Nate Oates. We get it. Okay. Now he's being ridiculed all across the country. People are calling for his head. They're doing all of this stuff. He didn't do the guy wanted to go back to college. He enrolled at the school. Then when he was denied by the NCAA, he went and got a temporary injunction. They played him because he was under this TRO and then lost the case. Now he's gone. It's pointed up the hypocrisy of the system. So let them take it from there. You don't have to point out that this kid played for the first division, first tier France division. We don't even know. Now, look, the people that are responding to that, they're saying first division France team is like a CYO team or a high school team here. That's not true. They play some pretty good basketball in France. They do. They play some pretty good ball. But they should not lose to this guy in this team. Ole Miss. Don't be making an excuse. Enough already. Stop it. Item number 2, Ryan Clark got loose again. He gets a lot of crap from fans, deservedly so, because he's a race baiter, and he says some outrageous stuff. But his latest take on where Sam Darnold sits on the NFC QB list, you got to be honest with you, it's not really out of line. It's not out of line. Guys are scrambling in there. Producers are in there. Oh, let's get a Sam Darnold picture up. We got to get a picture up on it. Thom didn't tell us he was going to say anything about Sam Darnold. We need to get a Sam Darnold picture up. How quickly? Do we have one in the file? You can see Hollywood Hogan's looking over at Grasshopper. This guy is a loose cannon. Why didn't he tell us he was going to talk about Sam Darnold for a minute? And all these other quarterbacks. Anyway. He's not on the line. I mean, because he's Ryan Clark, he's getting killed for it. But just think about it. He says that he would take at least 8 quarterbacks just in the NFC right now over Sam Darnold. That's what he's saying. He's saying Sam Darnold right now at best is his 9th best quarterback in the NFC. And it sounds kind of stupid because the guy just won a Super Bowl. But you know what? Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Okay? And in a sense, all 8 of the quarterbacks that he mentioned would win the Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. With that defense, they all win a Super Bowl. Marginal quarterbacks with great defenses win Super Bowls. It's happened. Kerry Collins went to the Super Bowl. I mean, Kerry Collins versus Trent Dilfer in the Super Bowl. I mean, are you kidding me? Kerry Collins and Trent Dilfer in the Super Bowl. This is not to say that Sam Darnold sucks, but look at the 8 quarterbacks he mentioned, one at a time, just in the NFC. Just in the NFC. Matthew Stafford, he's the MVP. I know he's long in the tooth. I'm not saying long term, but right now, you tell me Matthew Stafford doesn't win the Super Bowl with that team? The MVP, Matt Stafford. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's a pretty nice quarterback and has been since day one. Didn't take him 5 years and 5 teams to get good. Wins the Super Bowl with that team. Baker Mayfield, he mentioned. Bake was taking a moribund team, to the playoffs in his 2nd or 3rd year. Think Baker Mayfield is the quarterback of the Seahawks, is in the Super Bowl winning quarterback right now? Probably. Dak Prescott, yeah. Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. He just has played with a team that's had a terrible defense, and, sometimes he screws up. But Dak Prescott, right now, Dak Prescott. Jordan Love in his career is off to a better start than Sam Darnold. Jared Goff, he went to a Super Bowl already. If Jared Goff was the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, they're winning the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. And, of course, he says Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. Now, Caleb Williams looked like garbage his rookie year, comes back and looks pretty functional in his 2nd year. Caleb Williams, he would have won a Super Bowl with that team. And Jaden Daniels is the one. Jaden Daniels is the one that I had just hesitate a moment on. Jaden Daniels may have peaked. Jaden Daniels did some amazing things his rookie year, like RG3 did, but then he got hurt. Let's see what Jaden Daniels looks like. I need to see year 3. I always tell you when the season starts, you got to have 3 weeks. Is he the guy from week 1? Is he the guy from week 2? Or is he the guy from week 3? I need to see a 3rd season. Is Jaden Daniels the stud from week 1? Remember, they were pulling major pieces of furniture out of their butt in his rookie year. I mean, they had some wins that were like, what are you kidding me? 2nd year, he gets hurt. So let's see what he looks like coming off of an injury. Let's see what he looks like if the mobility is compromised at all. I'm not 100% on Jaden Daniels yet. I got to see more. All right, I got multiple other randomness to get to on the show. But let me tell you right now that back in Mission Control, playing the Platters That Matter, the Stacks of Wax, answering the phones, wondering, what the heck are you talking about today?
I'm the producer of the show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son!
I don't like violence, Thom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
You ain't first, you're last.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Old man, how is it that you hear these things?
Young man, how is it that you do not?
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
That was my bad there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. I mean, it happened so fast, and then I didn't even see the text from you boys. I mean, I guess it was 9:56. Is that when you guys said? It's 4 minutes before the show.
I didn't text. I didn't send
It's
it.
not your fault.
Look,
I mean, it's not. It's my fault. My bad.
You'll get used to it, but don't worry about it. I mean, I've known you long enough to understand that you're a rambling man. It's what you do.
I'm a rambling man.
And you'll jump from topic to topic, but hey, you do throw out that good minutia, and that's kind of all that matters when it comes down to sports talk.
Now, I will tell you this, that tomorrow Jordan Bianchi will join us on the duels at Daytona.
Nice.
Do they still call it that, the duels at Daytona? I mean, that was kind of a nice alliteration. I don't know what they call it now. I remember them as the Gatorade 125s, and then they became 150s and everything else. So you can go ahead and get your NASCAR stuff together. We'll have him on that. And, of course, tomorrow night is the documentary, the docudrama from Fox. It's going to air right after the duel at Daytona, and that is on Dale Earnhardt, called "We've Lost Dale Earnhardt."
Okay,
so that's coming up. That's coming up tomorrow. So you know that you got that on the show tomorrow, and as well.
Well, Brody's going to be super happy with setting that up. He's got a lot of fun with not just getting NASCAR and watching NASCAR, but also throwing interesting NASCAR images together. I'm pretty sure he's made like 3 T-shirts.
Well, you like NASCAR still, don't you? I mean, I know you went into that Hot Wheels racing thing, but
they're all Hot Wheels. They could all be Hot Wheels at the end of the day. I actually yesterday, it's funny. Every time I go to Walmart, I always look at the die casts for the NASCAR. I found Noah Gragson's number 10 car, and whenever he was rocking the number 10 car, I was all for it. I was like, this is a car I need to get, and I passed on it. I decided to just be like, you know what? He's not even number 10 anymore. It was the Bass Pro Shop car, so it's really cool, and I almost got it. But now I'm going to wait until I see that number 3 Bass Pro Shop car, possibly next year.
You just got to pretend in your brain that it's not Austin Dillon.
Yeah,
you got to kind of pretend that it's Dale.
Yeah,
that it's senior, not Austin Dillon, because that kid doesn't. He shouldn't be running that car.
He'd still. I mean, if Dale was still alive today, he'd still be driving.
No, he would not. He'd be 75 years old. He'd be 74 years old right now.
Dude, in the IMSA race out in Daytona, there was a few drivers that were over 60 years old. So
that's because
out of all the sports that you could stay old in,
it's like driving on the freeway, though. That's not like NASCAR. That's not door handle to door handle.
I'd say that's closer to driving on the freeway. Maybe in Atlanta.
I got some baseball in this show here today that I'm going to get to. As well. Did you see that Justin Verlander is returning to the Detroit Tigers to presumably finish his career where it all began? He gets $13 million for his age 43 season. I don't know what he's going to get, what they're going to get out of him at 43. I can't figure out what they're doing with Tarek Skubal either. I don't understand. Why are they not locking up Tarek Skubal? He now goes into a walk year basically at $34 million. Probably the second best pitcher in all of baseball behind Paul Skeens. Why are they jerking around? What are they, a small market? I mean, stop that. All right, let me get Wolverine Dan in here and clear the deck so we can get to Justin Ferguson. Wolverine Dan, welcome in. How are you?
Well, you're a rambling man, right? So that means you and Bob Seger got something in common.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so I did call in because, when I call in now, I want to make sure that it's topics that we want to talk about and be relevant. Mm-hmm. And it is baseball. It's pitchers and catchers showing up, ain't they? It's spring ball.
Yeah, no, it's pitchers and catchers are in, and games start next weekend.
All right, so here we go. So Tigers made some moves, and I'm telling you, we're going to win it big time. We're going to take the AL, and we're going to go to the World Series and might even win that too. And I'll tell you why. Tarek Skubal, Jack Flaherty, Casey Mize, and now last week, not only did we get Verlander this week, but last week we got Houston's ace pitcher, Farmer Valdir. How about that? All right. Then you add Verlander to that, and yeah, you're going to get stuff out of Verlander. Like, he can still, and plus he's great for the dugout and for the team locker room. He's got a lot of wisdom, and he knows how to throw a game. I'm telling you, Tom, what an acquisition! And then he finished.
All the clubhouse wants to know is he bringing his wife to the game? That's all his clubhouse wants to know. That's all they want to know.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's coming out of my mouth. Anyway, if people don't know what that is, text Tom and ask him, and he'll tell you off the air, okay? Because this is a family show, Tom.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that said, man, I'm jacked up. These Tigers.
I don't know what they'll get out of I don't know what they'll get out of Verlander. I just don't understand why they're not signing Skubal to a long-term deal. I mean, why are they screwing around with Skubal? You say they will. I don't know that they will. They may not.
All right. So here's my question. So, all right, let's say the Tigers wait just before he's eligible to be traded or whatever. They could sign him and lock him in, like, say, the day before it goes up, and then nobody else can touch him, right?
Well, yeah, if they sign him, but I mean, he may say, you know what, I'll test the free agent market. You know, I mean, he could still test the free agency, and then you lose him.
So you're telling,
or you're going to have to pay up the yin game for him. You always lock the guy up before arbitration. You know, if you can.
Well, they will.
Now, he's already had arbitration. He won the arbitration. He got a record $34 million in arbitration. They offered him peanuts, and he got $34 million. And I think he plays it out and goes play someplace where they got money.
Well, the Tigers and the Illich, the old man Illich, that passed away years ago. He would pay the players, but his son, he's a little tight. Because he's also the owner of the Red Wings, and that's been not too good for the last 8 years. Although they will make the playoffs this year. But listen, in my closing, curling was really good to watch last night in the Olympics. Sweden won, and man, I tell you what, it's fun to watch. I actually like curling. I'm not sure about you, but I know you like bocce ball. But that'd be great.
That's a good sport.
Minnesota, where they got curling, and then they got a bar right next to it, and everybody's on stools watching them throw these rocks down down the ice, and they, knocking down some beers.
No, it's a good sport. I enjoy it. Thanks for the call, Dan. I have enjoyed the curling. I wish we had won the thing instead of lost. And I got a whole take on that. I'll get to that a little bit later on.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, that's right. I'll get to this whole thing about winning silver and bronze medals.
If you ain't first, you're last.
I don't know, but you win. Call it what it is. It's second place and it's third place. You win second place. Did the Patriots win the silver medal at the NFL? You don't win third place. You act like a bunch of fools out there jumping around because you got on the podium. It's not American.
If you ain't first, you're last.
We get a break. When we come back, Justin Ferguson. He's up next. He'll be on video as well. You'll see him right there, his smiling face on WZZN TV next, right here on the Tom Abraham Show.
AL cert number 21014.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning. Thomas, I need you guys to light my flame sensor.
Excuse me?
Yeah, my gas valve's not flowing, buddy.
What do y'all need over there?
Oh, I need you to exchange my heat exchanger.
You don't have to speak the love language of a furnace to call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning. We can come out and do a $49 tune-up, and you'll get savings off of that, and we'll be able to figure out what's going on with your system.
Can you keep my flame lit this Valentine's Day?
We can definitely keep your flame lit.
Who do I gotta call?
Call Talent at 256-503-4490.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
That was weird.
It's Talent Heating and Air. They're live, they're local. Give them a call today.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance, located in the Rosie's Shopping Plaza, strives to help customers find the best auto insurance, home insurance, life insurance, and more. No matter where you are in life, Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance is here to help you find your best insurance and retirement needs. You can find them on the web at brianbellamyagency.com or call them at 256-539-7530. Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance is a proud supporter of UAH Athletics and reminds everyone to go Chargers. Brian Bellamy State Farm, here to help life go right.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231. And welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Glad you are with us here on this Hump Day in the Doghouse. Again, bit of a potpourri Wednesday. Let's get an update from the Plains, though. Justin Ferguson does a tremendous job covering all things Auburn, does it for the Auburn Observer, and Tigers now dropping a second league game in a row as they get beat last night by Vanderbilt. You just cannot dig that kind of a hole against a quality team like Vanderbilt and then expect to win the game. It's just the way it is. And Justin joins us now, Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, and as well on WZZN TV. Ferg, welcome in. How are you?
I'm all right, Tom. How are you?
Fantastic. Can't get yourself in a bind like that. I mean, they made a run late in the second half, but you can't get yourself in a bind like that in the first half against a quality team.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me a lot of Tennessee loss last week, or I guess a week and a half ago, where it's like, yeah, if you're playing a really, really good team like that, you need to make sure you're in a position where you're not having to play from behind so much. Vanderbilt is so disciplined on offense and defense. They don't make a lot of mistakes. So it makes that harder for you to kind of dig out of that hole. And so, yeah, Auburn got off to a rough start. The end of the first half went really sideways on them on defense. And, they make that run in the second half, but it's not quite enough to overcome it. And that's just kind of been the story we've seen this season of this team at times. Like, they've got some really good wins on their resume. But I think kind of the story so far is this team has done a really good job of responding to adversity. But as Stephen Pearl says a lot, they create their own adversity a lot of times. And that's what's really, really frustrating in games like this.
Drops them below 500 in the league. But again, the league it's just so weird, the way the season is unfolding. But that double bye is definitely in jeopardy. I mean, we talked about how important that was last week, and that's kind of slipping away.
Yeah, and now you're looking at try to get a bye, and if you can piece together some wins, down the stretch here, maybe you get off that 8-9 line in the NCAA tournament. That's the thing. It's like these three losses they've had: Tennessee, Bama, and now Vanderbilt. Those are all three really good opponents. These are teams that are all going to be great seeds in the NCAA tournament this year. The problem is that they're missed opportunities. Like, it doesn't hurt your resume a ton. I was looking at some things before we got on the air, and that Auburn's chance of making the NCAA tournament has fallen to like 86%. So like, they're not in danger. The danger comes if you lose some of these games down the stretch. These quad 2 games. What you've done is you've managed to not take advantage of your opportunities to make it even better, to push up a couple of seed lines maybe, and obviously, like you said, fight for one of the better spots in the SEC tournament. Instead, you're now in a spot where, after Arkansas on Saturday, you've got some games that you just simply cannot lose moving forward, and you've missed out on a lot of opportunities to make your resume look even better at this point in the year.
Yeah, and they'll get an Arkansas team on Saturday night at Arkansas that is playing pretty good and comes off of that beatdown of LSU last night and beat them by 29 points. So that's no joke, in terms of going into Arkansas. That would be a great win, a great quad 1 win if they were able to go in there and get that one. It could kind of right the ship.
Absolutely. And Auburn beat Arkansas pretty badly at home earlier this season, but that was a while back. Arkansas has played a lot better. Their rotations have gotten tighter. I think they've gotten better with the way they're running their offense, especially through Darius Acuff. So, yeah, it's a huge matchup. And obviously, I think, the big thing about Arkansas is they're a different animal inside Bud Walton than they are, away from home. That's kind of been the case. I know they lost to Kentucky at home a couple weeks ago, but for the most part, they are excellent team inside Bud Walton. Auburn doesn't have a ton of great history there. They did win the last time they were out there, but obviously that was a couple years ago with a more experienced team. So it's a tough one because you're not going to be expected to win that one. It could be huge if you do, and then you hit that final 6 stretch of the regular season where you have some opportunities to pick up some momentum. So for Auburn, you got to tap back into what worked for you when you beat Arkansas about a month ago, and see if you can kind of replicate some of that performance on the road on Saturday night.
Justin Ferguson with us here from the Auburn Observer, and going back to Saturday, of course, a lot of Auburn fans up in arms over that game because you have to say and he probably win that game. I mean, if Charles Bediaco's not playing that game, it felt like Auburn would have won that game. That was maybe Bediaco's biggest contribution of the 5 games that he played. And now you wonder, look, the NCAA has already said, we're not in the business of punishing people who win a court case because we lost a court case. So we know that Charlie Baker, they're not going to vacate wins or read forfeitures, not going to do any of that. But there's still a committee that's going to look at all of this stuff when they seed the tournament. And you wonder, how, I don't care about the polls. The polls don't matter because it's the committee that matters when they seed the tournament. And if you're sitting there and you're looking at Auburn and Alabama and they're both, 5, 6, type seeds, you wonder how they'll grade that game based on the fact that, Alabama beat them with a player that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, no, I said this the other day. I think ultimately, what you have to do is you have to treat Alabama as those 5 games with Bediaco that like they really didn't happen in terms of your resume because obviously he's not available to keep playing anymore. That takes away a good quad 1 win for Alabama away from home against Auburn. It takes away a quad 2 win over A&M that could grow into a 1 depending on how good A&M ends up finishing this season. But yeah, I mean, I think this is a situation where if you're a team like Auburn, you look at it and say, hey, if Bediaco doesn't play, yeah, you probably win that game. You still had chances to win without that happening. So I don't think anybody from the Auburn camp is going to be sitting there, saying, oh, poor, pitiful us. But yeah, I mean, I do wonder with the committee what they end up doing with that because I think Alabama got what they wanted to get out of that, which is they helped out their team in a big way in some big games. But with them losing to Tennessee, with them losing to Florida, it wasn't like they kind of like ran the table and had like a drastically better resume with him. So it's gonna be really interesting to see. I think you would probably just need to consider it. Hey, those Auburn and A&M wins, didn't really even happen, for your resume and kind of go from there.
Yeah, because we see how they handle, like if you have a key player that's injured,
kind
of similar to that. I mean, now that player's not available, you're a different team, at that particular point in time. So it'll be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they do Kansas then, with the way Darren Peters is just like not playing now.
And then you got, Auburn's got a kid, right? The Jokic kid. He doesn't, that is, played pro ball over in Europe and all of that stuff. The difference here, and this is the rub with this whole scenario. The difference is that kid didn't go to college and then go play some pro or sign a pro deal or try to get into the NBA and then come back to college. I mean, I think that's where it's not quite apples and oranges. What Nate Oates is talking about with these other deals is kind of like green apples and Macintosh apples. You know what I mean? They're different kinds of apples of a different color, but this is it really points up the hypocrisy of all of this stuff with the NCAA.
Right.
They gotta figure this out and come up with a hard and fast rule. Either you've been a pro, you've either gotten paid to play, or you haven't gotten paid to play. Which is it? And I think that's going to be the issue that they're going to have to sort out eventually.
Yeah, no, they definitely need to sort it out. And I think, the big difference obviously being if you play in college basketball and then you declare for the draft, the rule has always been you forfeit the rest of your eligibility. Well, now, you have a loophole of a loophole of a loophole, and you can find a way to get Bediaco back in. It obviously doesn't hold up. It is different, obviously. I think, I think Alabama fans and coaches, have been a little bit more up in arms of what's happened at Baylor this year. I think that's a more apt example of what's happened. These Euro guys, look, yeah, I mean, like in my personal opinion, I found it kind of tough at the very beginning when they were saying, yeah, these European guys can come over and play. I'm like, man, that's, you're having to bend some stuff in that case. But the NCAA always said, hey, that's been cleared from the beginning. The thing with Bediaco and the thing with James Najee at Baylor is you had to kind of go through hoops and hoops and hoops to try to get it done. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's absolutely right. You've got to set a hard and fast rule. Like for Alabama, they saw an opening and they tried to take advantage of it, and they took advantage of it as long as they could because there is no, like you said, there is no clear hard and fast rule. There's, it's the Wild West. I mean, look at everybody getting eligibility extra years left and right. There's a kid, I think there's a kid I saw today was that Montana football player. He's getting his 9th year of eligibility now. So like
he's going to retire and graduate at the same time. I think. And did TJ Finley get his? I mean,
I don't know. That one's as crazy as can be, you know. But yeah, it's just like you need to set some sort of rules. You need to set some sort of like hard and fast thing. You know, if we're going to treat these guys like pros, which they are now, all right, what does that mean in terms of your eligibility? What does that mean if you're trying to pull guys from other things? And at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I mean, we're kind of losing sight of what college sports are supposed to be about. But, you know, these guys are getting paid to win games, so they're doing whatever it takes to win those games.
People who are my age remember that Larry Bird was drafted by the Celtics as a junior, and they held his rights through his senior. He just said, yeah, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay. You know, presumably didn't get any money from the Celtics, didn't get a signing bonus or anything, but he stays in college, and then they hold his rights all the way until the next draft, and they signed him right after the national championship game in '79. And so Larry Bird had been drafted. He was a Boston Celtic when he was playing for, you know, the Indiana State Sycamores. And you know, to me in this day and age anymore, I'm kind of the mindset, let the NBA pay these kids. Go ahead. You want to draft a kid that's a freshman or a sophomore? Draft him. Give him his bonus. You're his NIL now. Pay him and let him play in college. You know, I mean, let them pay. Well, you know, instead of, you know, because it's, you know what's going to happen next? Happen in football. It's going to, and those kids can't even go. A kid leaves a team, declares for the draft, ends up not getting drafted into the NFL. That kid, that's what's coming next. That kid's going to say, I want my eligibility back. I thought I was going to get drafted. I didn't get drafted. Instead of being a free agent, I'd like to go back to college football. And there's going to be a court case over that. And so, you know what? Let these leagues draft these kids. Let them pay them while they're in college if you want. Everybody else is paying them.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not as well versed in the subject. Isn't that kind of what hockey does? Like, don't you draft guys and keep their rights? Yeah, like when they're in college,
they get paid. They get the money, and they keep their eligibility. You know, baseball has the deal: you get drafted if you stay in college. You're not eligible for the draft for 3 years. It's like every sport's a little bit different,
right?
Course, you're not old enough to remember, maybe, but you remember. You know the story. Chris Wenke is one of many who were drafted and got paid by baseball. Chris Wenke got drafted, got a $350,000 signing bonus, played 6 years of minor league baseball, and made about $600,000, and then went and won the Heisman Trophy as a quarterback for Florida State. How the heck do we wash that? I mean, where does that come from? You know?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started covering Auburn, 2013 season, that national championship, got to the national title, won the SEC. One of their wide receivers was Melvin Ray, who played several years in the Dodgers organization before coming over. Auburn's best freshman receiver, one of their like record holders in receiving yards, Ronnie Daniels, played baseball for a while. Like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So it's like there is some sort of precedent. You can just make it happen. But the NFL thing is interesting because, like, I do wonder how many teams right now. You know, obviously Mendoza's going to go 1 overall, but how many teams are looking at this draft class and being like, can we go ahead and get Jeremiah Smith? Can we go ahead and get Jeremiah Smith, let him play 1 more year at Ohio State, and then go bring him over? We'll use our pick right now on him.
Arch Manning, if they draft Arch Manning, they should be able to draft Arch Manning, give him $1 million signing bonus, and let him finish up his college career and wait on him. I know that you say that, well, you know, teams aren't going to want to wait, but on the other hand, maybe they would. You know what I mean? If you could draft him now and pay the kid, the penalty is you don't have him, but you're paying him, and the clock has started, so he's going to be closer to his second contract, you know, which is the big money contract. So that's the risk the team is taking. But if they want to draft, you know, Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams or Arch Manning, whatever, draft them. Go ahead, you pay them.
Cam Coleman, any of those dudes. Yeah, I mean, it's Cam just
Coleman, yeah. Right.
I do think it's interesting because, like, there are examples of professional sports using college as a minor league system for them, even subsidizing some of that. You don't get that in all sports, though, and so I think you get kind of a break in it.
Yeah, no doubt. Justin Ferguson has been our guest. All right, Ferg, appreciate you as always. What is the date? When does Auburn start their spring ball. And now that there's not this spring transfer window, is there any word yet whether or not they're going to actually do a full-blown spring game, or are they just going to do one of them open practices?
So they are doing a spring game April 18th. They're doing a full-blown actual spring game. It makes a ton of sense. They were going away from that under Freeze. Year one, all these new coaches, all these new players. It makes a ton of sense. They start spring practice March 17th, so a little bit later than usual. They'll get about a month in with their practices, and then they'll wrap it up on April 18th, which I believe is 1 week after. I think Bama announced theirs on the 11th, so Auburn will be the week after that.
The media and the state of Alabama greatly appreciates that. They always used to be right on top of each other, and you have to choose which one am I going to cover. Now you can do them both.
And forever, it was for Auburn. It was always Masters weekend, which was always it really frustrating because like Saturday it'd be like big moving day at the Masters, and we're up there watching practice. So we appreciate that this year at least.
That's a great point. All right, man, and see, you're playing into the golf scene behind me there.
Yeah, exactly. I know my audience.
I'm trying to get that feeling of nice warm weather and green golf course and everything going there on this rainy February day. All right, man, appreciate you as always.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom.
We'll grab a break. We will come back. We will set you up for hour number 2 next right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $700.
Qualifying for the Daytona 500 coming up today, the duels tomorrow, and the Great American Race is Sunday. Denny Hamlin, the 9-1 favorite. Kyle Larson, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, all 10-1. Joey Logano, 12-1. Winning manufacturer, Chevrolet, plus 105. Ford, 2-1. Toyota, plus 265. Alabama Crimson Tide basketball on the road at Ole Miss today, laying 8.5, 165.5 the total. North Alabama, a 1.5 home favorite against West Georgia. Jacksonville State, 7.5 home favorites with UTEP. It's Tulsa laying 10.5 at home with UAB. Troy laying 5.5 points at Texas State. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City in Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
No Wi-Fi? How are we going to stream the game?
Mom, I have a research project due.
How are we going to make dinner?
Don't let power outages send your family into a meltdown. Get a Generac generator from Current Electrical. We keep your lights on and your Wi-Fi on. Visit gensuperstore.com or call 256-880-1880. Trust us, your family will thank you.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky through the course of the afternoon. Rain should taper off by the time we get to the lunch hour. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s, dropping into the mid 30s as we head into the overnight early Thursday morning. A partly sunny sky Thursday afternoon. Really not going to be a bad day. Temperature seasonal for this time of year, climbing into the mid and upper 50s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by USSSA Softball. If you're looking for a great tournament to put your team in, your high school level softball team in, you need to check out alfastpitch.usssa.com and find out where the best tournaments are. Anywhere throughout North Alabama, they've got great tournaments. Go ahead and check it out. alfastpitch.usssa.com. That's alfastpitch.usssa.com.
You get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park. Meantime.
And welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. What'd you do? You added that one, right?
Oh, yeah. Love this song.
That's an ad. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. There are a couple that I really, really want, and I keep forgetting to mark them down. Let me see if I put them in my notes. And I wanted you to pull them up. I mean, this is literally weeks ago. And I can't, for the life of me, remember where I put them. I had a note thing, one of them note things on the phone. Let's see, notes. Landon Dickerson, top 10 Christmas songs. Milrow Missing. I got some old notes here. I'll have to find the notes because I try to mark them down when I hear something, and I was like, oh, that would be a great song. And then I forget to mark it down. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, David Moulton will be joining us from Miller and Moulton in the morning. And guys, I don't know if I moved him back to his normal spot on your sheet, but he is up next. So if you want to go ahead and set it, I did move him. Okay. If you want to go ahead and hit him up, we'll get David Moulton going and get into a number of things with him, including Jared Dubin's article of the teams that he thinks will make a move next year in the NFL. We'll just take on that and a number of other things as well. I'm Thom Abraham. Back with hour 2 next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care, no appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
This is Charger basketball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Swings it over to Jordan Mabe. Mabe attacks it. Boy, Jordan wants some. He'll scoop it, lays it up and one for Jordan Mabe. Oh,
this is Charger basketball.
A three in the corner, up and good for Q. He now has 20 in the game. We're tied at 66.
This is Charger basketball.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. Taking care of your property yourself can be a real headache. Eagle can handle it for you. They offer full landscaping services, irrigation, mowing, bush hog, and can install plants and trees, sod, and even landscape borders. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyota-thon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyota-thon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Scott Tyson here with your 97.7 ESPN The Zone Sports Minute. Tuesday night SEC basketball. Despite a late rally, Auburn would come up on the short end at home last night to Vanderbilt 84-76. The Tigers, who trailed by 14 points in the second half, would pull within 4 with 2:42 remaining, but could not get any closer. Auburn travels to number 21 Arkansas Saturday. The Razorbacks on the road last night taking on LSU. Freshman sensation Darius Acuff Jr. would have 28 points on the night. Arkansas knocks off LSU 91-62. The Alabama High School Athletic Association has postponed the Class 1A Area 16 basketball tournament. This after Oakwood Adventist and the Jackson County school systems got conflicting temporary restraining orders. In a statement, the AHSAA saying the games will be postponed pending further court review. Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Mike Owen and Owen Home Appliance. Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance also prides themselves on community involvement as well. They get involved in all kinds of things, sponsoring local teams and events and so on, and they make sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. It's Owen Home Appliance.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is. The big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like L. McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
He's off my own.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
It must be Wednesday. I called it hump day.
Uh-oh.
Guess what day it is?
Hump day.
Guess what day it is?
Freaking Potpourri Wednesday is what it is.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day!
Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day. Welcome in. That is Hump Day in the Doghouse. Welcoming in a new audience this hour as we welcome the folks from Nashville on Nashville Sports Radio in Nashville and in Murfreesboro to go along with our friends at 97.7 ESPN in Huntsville and ESPN Winchester in Winchester, Tennessee, and their multiple signals as well. So we appreciate all that are in. We'll get the phone lines going again in a little bit here, and you can jump in and contribute at 256-576-4977. That's good wherever and however you consume the show. Text window is open as well, and we'll react to those on the air. 732-9TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. That'll get you in as well, and you can watch the show on WZZN TV, on the YouTube and the Facebook and the X, and you can find it at my X feed at Thom Abraham Show. That's a good place to catch up with that. David Moulton does a tremendous job with Miller and Moulton in the morning. He also travels the country. He has been for the last 20-some-odd years in college football with CBS and continues to do it with ESPN and the Monday Night Football crew, which means he'll be working a Super Bowl next year as well, Lord willing. You know how that goes with everybody, of course. And, of course, this show, Miller and Moulton in the Morning, can be heard each and every morning on Talk Radio WZZN. There's an app for that if you want to snag that. And you can also catch it on the YouTube and Twitch and all that kind of stuff as well. And he joins us now not only on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, but on WZZN TV as well. David, welcome in. How are you?
Good, Tom. How are you?
I am fantastic. Have you begun your countdown to Soup 61 in Los Angeles, where you'll be working next year?
No, because ESPN has already started the countdown. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. Man, if I could get a penny for every email. Oh, my goodness. I wouldn't have to work the game. Yeah, the network's just a little excited. They've never had one of these. And ladies and gentlemen, get ready. If you think ESPN has successfully hyped all the sports that they've carried in the last 46 years, wait until you get ready for the hype for Super Bowl 61.
It's a bit of a revisionist history, I think. And maybe I'm wrong about this, but has not, I mean, this game, everybody's like, oh, ESPN's carrying the Super Bowl. It's going to be on ABC. Let's not get excited. It's going to be on ABC as well over the air. Has ABC not done a Super Bowl in the past? ABC has done a Super Bowl, right?
Right. The last ABC Super Bowl was the 2005 season, Pittsburgh beating Seattle and Detroit. That's the last ABC Super Bowl. So it will have been 20. By the time they air the game, it will have been 21 seasons since ABC had a Super Bowl. But the game has literally never appeared on the four-letter network before, and it will. And they're just a tad excited.
That's the Super Bowl that was rigged, right? The one in Detroit. One of many, probably, but I'm sure.
Well, there was a lot wrong with that Super Bowl. First off, you're in Detroit, home of Motown. Yeah. And the halftime entertainment was the Stones.
It's ridiculous.
And obviously, legendary. When can't you do the Stones? Well, how about Motown music in Detroit? Right. I don't know. There's a few acts, too, in 2005 that you could have, gone to. Just a few.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I said the same thing when they went to Jerry's World, the one and only time that the Super Bowl has been there. I thought we were going to get a little bit of a country feel, and they didn't. They went in a completely different direction. Well, everything now, every year, it's either it's hip hop, rap, whatever you want to call it, stuff we can't understand. And I keep waiting. It's like, when are you going to do one with a little bit of a country theme when you're in one of these southern cities at least? But yeah, they missed the boat badly there.
Well, there's no doubt, and I'm not a big country guy, but it's the number 1 or 2 genre in the country, and there are a lot of stars. There's a new wave. I don't think there's been a country theme. There's been the occasional artist that's chimed in, but I don't think there's been a major country theme for the Super Bowl halftime since the mid-90s.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, you may get a little touch of it. My understanding, right behind Miley Cyrus. I didn't even know is Miley Cyrus that big that she would do a Super Bowl halftime? Apparently she is, but she's one of the leaders in the Vegas odds to do the Super Bowl halftime next year. But right there is Taylor Swift. And she is big enough coming off of that big tour she did and everything else.
Well, no doubt.
The NFL, as well. And so I think the top three are Cardi B, who I don't even know who she is, Taylor Swift, and Miley Cyrus. It's those three are the Vegas favorites, I guess.
Okay. For Taylor, though, she has to announce a tour because, none of these artists get paid to do the halftime show.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Thom. Well, you got an audience of 125 million. That's what the NFL says. The NFL says, you want to sell something? We'll give you the audience, but you're doing the show for free. So Taylor's got the money. There's no reason for her to do a halftime unless she is literally about to tour or announce a tour. By the way, you didn't hear the big Cardi B Super Bowl story?
Oh, I haven't gotten to it yet. The Kelsey story, they don't know how to grade it, apparently, as to whether or not she did or did not perform at halftime because she was a background dancer. And so now it was one of the props. Would Cardi B perform at halftime? And the prediction markets don't know what to do with it because they came up with all she didn't sing. No. She was there. End of story. Yes is the answer there. That's what it should have been.
Well, I'm talking about the story because Cardi B, the one who was dating Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently they broke up during the game.
Oh, yeah. I heard that part of the story. I heard that too. The prediction markets are not paying out that she would perform at halftime. And she was there. She was
left
dancer.
She left though. Okay. Apparently. So
after the show.
Right. Her and Diggs have been dating quite a while. Supposedly she had a party post game for $1.5 million she shelled out. All right. During the game, Diggs, who has a child with another woman, she noticed the woman and the child were sitting in the front row. Okay. And I guess she was very unhappy. And so she broke up with Diggs during the game. I can't imagine she did it face to face, but she must have left a cell phone message or a text and she left. And so neither Cardi B nor Diggs attended the $1.5 million post game party.
Did she not know that he has 6 children with 6 different women?
Well, but I guess one of her rules was none of them were allowed at the game. I don't know what to tell you. She saw the one woman and the child. She got bent out of shape. She said, "That's it. We're done."
So the other story was that involving Cardi B was the fact that in the prediction markets, one of the questions was, would Cardi B perform at halftime? Right. She was a background dancer. She did not sing. She did dance there at the deal. And they originally graded it as a no because in the fine print it said she had to sing. And so all these people that bought yes and blah, 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 they ended up paying out like 75 cents on the dollar on the yes side of it. And it's just creating a big stir. And that's how these props go sometimes. The prop bets will get a little bit goofy, when you try to figure out exactly how they went when you're grading 1,000 prop bets.
Yeah, to me, that's not performing. Okay, because then that means that there were 400 people that performed. So no, I mean, the kid who was handed the Grammy then performed. Okay, the people who got married performed. No, come on now. That I don't agree with that.
Now, the kid who handed the Grammy, there was a lot of controversy about that too. It has nothing to do with the little kid from Minnesota that got sent to Texas with his daddy and all that other kind of stuff. They had nothing. People were like, oh, he's making a political statement. That's the kid. That kid, who was an actor, that kid was portraying Bad Bunny as a child. That was what that meant. It had nothing to do with the little boy from Minnesota that got shipped down to Texas with his daddy. So just want to clear that one up too.
Okay.
I'm just saying that was the story was. Originally people thought it was a political statement. It's just not. It was him as a child. It was Bad Bunny representing himself as a child, and so on. So David Moulton with us here. All right. Since we started with Taylor Swift, we'll kind of go there for a moment because she's a Kansas City Chief, right? I mean, so we're going to go there.
Well, yeah.
She's a Chief. I'm calling it right now. Chiefs at Seahawks opens the season, right? Chiefs at Seahawks. If there's any hope that Patrick Mahomes, is there any inkling that he is going to be good, ready to go week one? The other option, I think, is Bears.
Yes.
If Mahomes is good to go, I think it's Chiefs at Seahawks, and it might be on a Wednesday because of that stupid game they got to play in Australia, a divisional game that could be a preview of the NFC Championship. They're taking somebody's major divisional game between the 49ers and Rams away to send them 16 hours on a plane so they can play that game in Australia.
Yeah, I'm worried we might get that game too, because you got to figure that Fox and CBS at 1 and 4 are out because of the time difference. It's a 16-hour time difference from the Eastern time zone. It's 19 hours from where the Rams are, obviously, but it's 16 hours. So do the math. Okay, if it's a prime time game, 8 o'clock in the evening, that's noon the next day in Melbourne. Okay, well, you can't have it go the other way. I don't believe so, because
it's going to be a Thursday. It's going to be a Thursday game.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. They're saying it will be a Thursday game. So the globe-trotting Mike Tirico can go there and do it on the NBC or whatever. It'll be a Thursday game, but that's why they're saying, because it'll have to be a Thursday, because it'll be Friday in Melbourne, Thursday night in the States. That's going to push the opener, Seattle home opener, to Wednesday. So they think that the Seattle game will be on Wednesday, and then the Melbourne game will be either Thursday or Friday, possibly like they were doing in Sao Paulo.
So they're saying that that's going to be week one?
Week one. Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's definitely week one. Well, not definitely. They're saying it's most likely week one because of the travel, because they don't want to stick that after the season has started, at least if you're traveling 16 hours. My understanding was it was 16 hours from both LA and San Francisco, but even if it's 19 hours, that they're putting that week one to send them out there a week early so they can acclimate to it.
Interesting, because I thought that it was going to be during the season and it was going to be a Monday night, so you give them an extra day to travel, and then also they'll put a bye after it, and you'll give them plenty of time to recover from playing the game. But that's interesting. And yeah, getting back to the Seahawks choices, a very sexy home schedule. Obviously, you got the potential games against the Rams and Niners if they want to go that route. But Bears, Cowboys, Chiefs, Super Bowl rematch with the Patriots, either Harbaugh brother. Okay, I mean, it's a very sexy home schedule. The NFL, it's tough for them to screw this one up. I think it's going to be Bears. Personally, they'll take the injury factor with Mahomes and just take it out of the equation, and the Bears are ratings gold. So I'm guessing Bears Seahawks for the opener.
Now, you're going out there for Patriots. I think that's about midway to late, probably third quarter of the season, Monday Night Football, Patriots at Seahawks in the rematch. Although they might be a little bit nervous to not put the Patriots too late, just the fear that the Patriots was this a mirage and that they could be, 5-9 at that time of the season, and then it loses some of its luster. That type.
Well, I will say the Patriots schedule is so much harder next year because they get the I believe NFC North as opposed to the NFC South this year. And then also they've got the AFC West next year as opposed to the AFC North. And remember, look what happened to the North this year. Baltimore and Cincinnati were not what they were expected to be. First place schedule instead of a fourth place schedule, which means, and then their one NFC crossover game is at Seattle. So, yeah, New England's schedule, and for that matter, the Bills, so much harder next year than it was this year.
No doubt about it. David Moulton with us here, talking a little bit about not only this Super Bowl. I thought the game, obviously the game's a dud. We've had a lot of good Super Bowls. This one was reminiscent of some that were duds in the past, but it had a couple of moments. I mean, it is only like 9-0, and Drake May is missing wide open receivers that could have changed it. Could have been a 9-7 game. Could have been something that different. He was just off. There was no doubt about it. Sam Darnold threw some risky balls that I thought were going the other way. That looked like, oh my gosh, the Patriots are going to jump it. Patriots dropped a couple of interceptions, and then a seminal moment, I thought, at 19-6, you score the touchdown. Why are you kicking the extra point? I mean, because you're going to be, if you miss the 2-point conversion or make the extra point, in both cases, you're down 2 touchdowns. The only hope is to be down 11 so that you can be down a field goal, have a shot at a 50-yard field goal on the last play of the game or something. I mean, that was a curious decision.
Oh, and then some.
But yeah, it was curious.
And Vrabel is a great in-game coach. Very rarely makes a bad in-game decision. Mathematically, that one made no sense because obviously even 19-8, to have the field goal be in play, even in the final 2 minutes, let's just say you're driving, you can kick the field goal and line up for the onside kick. I mean, that was shocking, in fact, that Mike Vrabel, chose the extra point with 12 minutes to go. I was stunned.
Yeah, it made no sense to me at all. All right, so New England was 80-1. They were last place, obviously, in the AFC East, and they were in the Super Bowl. So you got to kind of look at the way things finished this year, and you start looking at some of these teams that could possibly be, make that kind of a move. Maybe not all the way to the Super Bowl, but at teams that will surprise like the Bears did and like some others did. And I'm not talking about the obvious ones. I mean, obviously, you look at the Chiefs, if they're healthy, they're immediately right back probably into being a competitive team. There's a couple of other teams that were down. When you look, Detroit, that didn't fall that far. When you look at teams this year that were kind of in that New England kind of mentality for next year, who do you see as a potential team that could make us a big jump and be surprising us next year?
Okay, I thought the Patriots before the start of the season were 60-1 because I thought Tirico said in the broadcast that both teams were 60-1 before the season to win the Super Bowl.
Seattle was 60 and the Patriots were 80. So that's
He
why
said,
this was the biggest long shot matchup ever. It exceeded the Titans and the Rams as the biggest long shot ever.
Okay. Now, things may have already changed in 48 hours, but on Monday, I went and looked up on DraftKings. And what are the odds for next year? There were 4 teams listed at 60-1. 4. Washington, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, and Minnesota. I think the best roster of the 4 is Minnesota, but obviously they don't have a quarterback. Kind of like Seattle heading into this year, right? We didn't have a ton of belief in Sam Darnold. What if the Vikings can find a quarterback? What if when Kirk Cousins gets cut, if they say, hey, come back here? Okay, you won 13 games with us 2 years ago. 3 years ago? Also, remember the Colts were 8-2, and then Daniel Jones got hurt. So if you look, because like you're talking about, the Lions are 15-20-1, the Chiefs are 20-1. Those teams, you can't. It's just we got to talk 60-1 plus. So to me, like I have to admit, I love the Vikings roster. If the Vikings had a competent quarterback, I think they could have won the NFC. I mean, they won 9 games with awful quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
And the year before that, they won 14. I mean, I think if the Vikings can get their hands on a competent quarterback, I think they can win a ton of games. So to me, it would be between like the Vikings and the Colts to get really big odds above 50-1. Those are the 2 teams I kind of got circled right now.
Yeah, it's maybe pushing it all the way to a conference championship. Yeah, teams like Baltimore and Cincinnati, they're not in this realm. We're talking about teams that have been bad for a while. So here, I'm going to give you a team that has a scenario that is very similar to the Patriots scenario. A last place schedule, a new head coach that has some chops, that has pelts, that has won before.
I know where you're going.
A second-year quarterback. I'm telling you, man, you watch the New York Giants go 11-6 or 12-5, something like that. I'm not saying who knows what happens in the playoffs, but I could see us in the late in the year talking about a Giants team playing for seeding in the NFL playoffs. There's my one with Jim Harbaugh and that quarterback and that schedule and that, they got parts on defense. All of a sudden, the Giants could look like a different kind of football team.
Also a division, the NFC East, kind of like the AFC East. Mm-hmm. And all right, here's the reason why that's not crazy. Besides everything you just mentioned, they won 4 games having 5 double-digit fourth-quarter leads that they blew. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the Giants and think, with competent coaching, they might have won 7, 8, or 9 games. And I think competent coaching on the defensive side of the ball, because I'm a big Brian Daboll guy. Okay, so if you look at the Giants, instead of a 4-win team, is really a team between 7 and 9 wins, and then everything you just mentioned. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Washington went from a top 5 pick of the draft to the NFC title game. The Patriots went from a top 5 pick of the draft to the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Giants would fit that criteria.
Yeah. Now, not again. The Super Bowl part is you get wildly hot, in December, January. David Moulton with us here. Now, this team got mentioned, and I think that there's some validity to it. It'd be very, very fascinating. Jared Dubin did a story at CBSSports.com. You just said you're a big Daboll fan. He's back in his comfort zone as an offensive coordinator. Robert Saleh comes in as a outstanding defensive mind, was stuck in a terrible situation in New York. Now he's the Titans head coach. They kept Bones, their special teams coordinator there, the Fossil kid. They kept him there, so they got a very solid coaching staff. A second-year quarterback that started to look a little bit better. They have 5th most draft capital in the entire draft, and they've got the most money available against the cap. The new cap, the old cap, any cap, nobody has more money than the Titans in their final season in Adelphia Coliseum to go old school. I'm telling you, the Titans could be a quick turnaround. I'm not saying that kind of I'm just saying all of a sudden they could be a 9-10 win team, and we're like, where did this come from? Somebody, somebody's going to do it.
Well, and I'm a Cam Ward guy for whatever that's worth. I will say, the division has gotten good around them, and so I think their road is a little tougher. I mean, you add up the number of wins between the 3 teams ahead of them, and it was 33, and that's with the Colts losing their last 7 games of the year. So I think the road would be tougher for the Titans, because I think just even going 3-3 in the division would be pretty good. But, yeah, hey, there are not a lot of teams I don't have hope for next year. Yes, I think you can draw up a scenario where the Titans win 9-10 games and are competing for the 7th seed. Absolutely.
And I'm not pandering to our fan base. I don't even include this team because they wildly underperformed last year. But even without Kirk Cousins, with Kevin Stefanski going in there, I think they're going to win a division. I think they're a 10 or 11 win team. They won 8, as dysfunctional as they were from the sideline. I think that team is sneaky good and with talent, and I could see them winning that division with a 10-6, or what is it now? 10. I can't even add this math up. 10-7, 11-6 type of record. I think that the Falcons are live in the always awful NFC South.
Well, I do think they have the best roster in the division right now. The Pierce loss, we can't count on him playing next season, if ever. And that's a 10.5 sack guy. So that'll be significant. I think they're making a big mistake if they get rid of Cousins. They even said they're not sold on Penix. And Cousins fits Stefanski's offense perfectly. I heard yesterday that what they may do is cut Cousins and then re-sign him on something that's a little more cap friendly. I'll be curious if they do that. But I think getting rid of Cousins was a mistake. When Kirk Cousins was healthy 2 years ago, they were 6-3. He got hurt. They fell off the cliff. Kirk Cousins, when he came in, they won their last 4 games of the year. A healthy Kirk Cousins has been very productive and won games in Atlanta. I think they're making a big mistake if they move off of him.
Yeah, and Stefanski and Cousins had great success in Minnesota. They work together well. And Cousins, by the way, has a home in Atlanta. That's where he wants to live. So
right.
So I think there's something to your take there that maybe it's a cut and redo, under a new deal with a lot of incentives or something like that. Because no, I don't think they're 100% sold on Penix. All right, before I let you go, I promised the listeners I would ask them what is catching your eye now. Of course, we got the football, the spring ball, and we got the combine and the draft and all of that. Setting that aside, we got Olympic hockey that starts today with the men. We have got of course the basketball, college basketball especially. You got the Masters coming up. I'm still a big Daytona 500 fan coming up on Sunday. The duels are Thursday night, tomorrow night. What is David Moulton looking at over the next few months, before we get back to the football grind again?
Well, I think the NCAA tournament's going to be amazing. Maybe not the first round because I don't know how many upsets we're going to have. But if you look at how top-heavy the top 25 is, I mean, the second week of the tournament this year could be amazing. Absolutely amazing how good those teams are in the top 12, 15. I mean, think about it. The Gators right now would be a 4 seed. Okay?
Yeah.
I think the second week of the NCAA tournament and the Final Four should be spectacular. And, I know it won't start for 6 weeks, but I'm all in on this baseball season because we ain't having one next year. So I am all over it. And this is not hyperbole. The players are saying out loud, we're not going to have a season in 2027. So I am all over.
We just not have a start. Can we just not have a start to the season? Let's not say the whole season. They're not going to. And by the way, if it is going to be like that, whoever those people are that are running the UFL right now, they better keep that thing going and be in position and maybe change their clock a little bit and be ready to capitalize on that. If there's no baseball in March and April of next year, they need to be. That's their shot to survive. But make them only miss 20 games. Let's not make this forever.
Tom, I get March and April of next year. There's going to be no spring training. Tom, there's not going to be a season next year. I'll make you name the bet. Tom, name the bet there's not a game played before the All-Star break. Seriously. Tom, I think the season's toast. The owners are fighting amongst themselves, and what they are going to come at the players with is a non-starter. The players, I talked to a Major League player the other day. He said, we know there's not going to be baseball next year. He said it out loud.
How would they? How would you just? It's like, here, let's just do Harry Carey. Why don't you just do Harry Carey? Why don't you just kill yourselves? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that will happen if it does happen. And by the way, speaking of the NCAA, can we not look UNC storming their own court because they beat Duke? I mean, I know Duke was number 4, and I know it's a big rivalry. Alabama doesn't storm the field when they beat Auburn. I mean, come on, let's not do that. And then last night, Miami storms the court. They were a 1-point dog. They're ahead of UNC in the standings, and they stormed the court because they beat the Tar Heels. I mean, can we stop doing that now? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Tom, you are more crotchety than Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. You really are. Lighten up. It's college sports. Okay, let them celebrate. Come on, give me a break. Lighten up.
Stay off the field, for God's sakes, will you? I mean, stay off the court, stay off the field. Act like you won a game before you. You're Duke, you're UNC, now Miami, but still, Miami was like a 1-point dog. I mean, the game was a toss-up. And you don't storm the court when you win a game that you were a 1-point dog in, and you're ahead of the people in the standings. And it's just dumb. That's just dumb. That's just
weird. You are miserable. Your life is great. You have an awesome family. Your show is thriving. You're making tons of money. You are miserable.
You missed it. You missed the beginning of the take on this whole Olympic thing with our athletes jumping up and down like they did something because they got on the podium. I'm going to flesh that out a little bit. I only got a little bit.
If you ain't first, you're last.
I mean, nobody wins second place, right? You don't win third place. We got 10 medals. We got 2 gold. I mean, get out of here with that. Who says I won third place? Nobody says I won third place. It annoys me to no end. I understand they're athletes. They spend 4 years. They train and everything else. There's only one thing for America.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
He's got 7 gold medals. We got 3. I mean, come on. I may not make it to my retirement in 2 years. I've thought that before.
Wow.
Did you ever say you won 3? I mean, did you ever say, hey, I won 3rd?
In women's luge, yes. In skiing cross country, yes. These are events we never medal in. Lighten up.
I won 2nd. I mean, get out of here. You remember Vince Lombardi when he used to have the playoff bowl? What he used to call that thing? I mean, he never wanted to play it. He called it the Hinky Dinky Bowl. It was in Miami every year. The 2 teams that lost the conference championship would meet in a 3rd place game. And the NFL had to end it after like 4 years. Lombardi played in it back-to-back years, and he called it the Toilet Bowl. He called it the Hinky Dinky Bowl.
You do know
words I can't say on the air.
Right.
He called it in the coach's office.
Right. That's one league in America involving like 24 teams at the time. This is against the world.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's it. All I care about is winning. When Joey Logano finishes 2nd on Sunday, he's not going to say, hey, I won 2nd place. You know, they didn't get the Patriots silver medals. You don't get silver medals, okay? Because you lost the Super Bowl. You don't get silver medals.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm bitter today. I'm a bitter man.
Yeah, with no reason whatsoever.
Oh, what are you talking about? No reason. I have a great.
Ain't no football now, it's gone.
It's all gone. I got a great reason.
Won't be back till Labor Day.
I got lots of reasons to not be. I'm going to try and get the old Neil Rogers schedule. I'm going to take the whole summer off. Remember Neil Rogers in Miami? He had 4 months off in the summertime. That's the schedule I want.
Yeah, get the Howard Stern schedule where a busy week is you work 3 days. Yeah,
That's exactly right.
I don't know. Stare at a picture of your wife for 10 seconds. This just in, she's beautiful. Lighten up.
That'll pick me up. Hey, you're right about that. All right, man. I appreciate you as always. Have a great week. And
listen, to your audience for the next 25 minutes, I'm really sorry. I tried. I tried, but wow, I'm sorry.
So women's hockey is the best. You see, we dominate in women's hockey. And that's another thing, too. That coverage on NBC, stop showing me stuff that we're not good in. I don't need to see everybody else going skiing and everything else. What happened to remember when we had Billy the Kid and we could win a ski, go downhill and win? How come we can't win in skiing anymore? I mean, what's up with that? Where's Peekaboo Street when you need her? I mean, come on. That girl yesterday, they handed to Schiffler, what's her name? Scotty Schiffler? What's her name?
Michaela Schifrin.
They handed her first place in the combine. First, all she has to do is get down the mountain and not go slow like she's plowing all the way down the mountain. That's embarrassing. Oh, yeah. Embarrassing. Don't show me anything that we're not great in. I don't want to. Hey, I got another problem. I got the World Cup. We didn't even. That's coming to America. We got to deal with that all next year. That's something that we can't even finish in the top 30 in. You know what I mean? We're going to play a sport here in our country where we can't play in the top 30 in, and now you're going to put grass in NFL stadiums so that soccer players can play on grass. Yet the football players can't play on grass. The other things you want me to get ticked off about.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I tried.
I'm going to try and have an attitude adjustment before the next segment. All right. Appreciate you. Safe.
Wow. I used to appreciate you. Who the hell is this guy hosting the show? I don't even know him.
Well, what happens? That's why they call grumpy old men.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I got a lot of David Moulton. He's tremendous. I got a lot of angst. I got a lot of angst. I got sports angst. I got a lot of sports angst right now. I didn't get a good night's sleep last night either. Okay. So that's part of the deal. Didn't sleep well, was up at 2:30 in the morning for an hour. You know, I just miserable. All right, we get a break. 256-576-4977. If you want to talk me down off the ledge, come on in, and we'll have that conversation next right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Qualifying for the Daytona 500 coming up today, the duels tomorrow, and the Great American Race is Sunday. Denny Hamlin, the 9-1 favorite. Kyle Larson, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, all 10-1. Joey Logano, 12-1. Winning manufacturer, Chevrolet, plus 105. Ford, 2-1. Toyota plus 265. Alabama Crimson Tide basketball on the road at Ole Miss today, laying 8.5, 165.5 the total. North Alabama, a 1.5 home favorite against West Georgia. Jacksonville State, 7.5 home favorites with UTEP. It's Tulsa laying 10.5 at home with UAB. Troy laying 5.5 points at Texas State. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you scheduled your wedding and even your child's birth around your school's game? Of course. But it means more than that. It means you're home to hundreds of Fulbright, Truman, Goldwater, and Rhodes Scholars. It means starting out as the birthplace of American public higher education, and now leading the way in unmanned spacecraft. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That there's an honest-to-goodness chandelier in your tailgate tent? Perhaps, but it means more than that. It means pioneering medical solutions to predict new flu viruses. It means leading globally diverse teams to eliminate starvation in developing countries. And it means being home to one of the nation's top cybersecurity programs. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943. Member FDIC.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, longtime friends of the show. To be honest with you, it's been about 20 years that we have been hooked up with TOC, and they just do such a great job. They service the Huntsville Havoc, Alabama A&M, most of the high schools in the region. They got 13 locations all throughout the Tennessee Valley. So if you have an orthopedic problem, if you're considering professional care, really, TOC, it's the only logical choice. You need to contact TOC. Make your appointment. When you need them, they're there. Always in the Tennessee Valley, TOC. Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. Am I totally on an island with this whole thing about winning second or winning third? I mean, can I get an amen on this at all?
Can I get an amen? Amen.
No? Amen. Am I on my own on that, John? I mean, I'm just saying we have 232 athletes there. Canada has 211. Italy is next with 195, and Germany has 189. Norway has won 13 medals. Italy 11. We have 10. I don't know what's going on today because I try not to watch it during the day because I don't watch it with my wife tonight. But we only have 3 gold, which is the only one that counts, right? Norway has 7 gold medals. We have 3. I don't like counting medals, just counting medals. There should be like a 3-2-1 point system. You should get 3 points for a gold, 2 points for a silver, 1 point for a bronze, and then that's how they should determine what team, quote unquote, won the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I do like whenever we stack the golds, but at the same time, as long as we keep in the race, there's so many sports that are going to be played and so many golds that are going to be handed out. I feel like America almost always has a chance at least being number one, but no, it's
but not golds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Being second and third, it's not my type of thing. I was let all my life pretty much being the youngest brother. It's all about being first though.
They used to have the third place game in the NFL that pit the 2 teams that lost the conference championship games. This is a true story. They called it the Playoff Bowl. The Packers had a play in it in 63 and 64, and Vince Lombardi called it the Hinky Dink Bowl. He did. That's what he called it, the Hinky Dink Bowl, publicly. He also called it the Losers Bowl. Hated the game. It was always in Miami. It was the Losers Bowl. And there was a Broadway play called Lombardi, and in that one-man show, he called it the Toilet Bowl. And you know that in the coach's office, he called it something else, something that you take to the toilet bowl, maybe. Just saying, it was like a friggin' bronze medal game. So un-American. And he just had to stop it. He said, stop. We're not going to do that anymore. Grumpy is up. Grumpy, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Couple of things real quick. Dan's call was much better. 3 R's. He was ready. He was relevant, and he was rapid about it. So I'm going to start judging him. Who's the
Does
best
he get a
pitcher in the
bronze, a
National League?
silver, a gold, a bronze, or a silver for that call?
I would say today's was a silver.
Silver medal call.
Hey, but listen, I got some money tucked away to take some road trips this year. If I was to go to a National League ball game, let's say I pick Chicago. I've never been to Wrigley, and I want to see one of the best pitchers. If I look at the whole season, and we'll just I don't want you to do that right now. It's not the Grumpy Show. But who has the best pitcher in the National League? And I'll just gamble that the ticket I buy will be in his rotation. Who's the best pitcher in the
the Pirates? It's Paul Skeens, the kid from LSU, the Pirates. Yeah.
Okay, that answers that question. Now, if the NBA could pay players in college, that still doesn't mean that the NIL wouldn't exist. It would just be more money, because the whole NIL thing is you can't take a man's right to earn money with his own name and image or likeness. So the NBA paying college players, I don't see how that would help anything.
No, it doesn't eliminate NIL. What I'm saying is that is the NIL. In other words, that would be one of their NIL things. You should be able to draft a player and pay him and tell him, instead of G League, and tell him stay there and continue to develop in college. We'll pay you. We'll call you up in 2 years. Stay there.
Now,
let him play. Let Arch Manning. Wouldn't you? If somebody wants to take a risk and draft Arch Manning now and pay Arch Manning, knowing that he's going to play one more year of college football, maybe you take that risk. You got to calculate that risk.
If you're a middling, fair to middling athlete, and you're not going to win too many championships, shouldn't you still go play the sport and enjoy the sport?
Yeah, I'm missing out what
I'm just, with this whole thing of second's not good enough, I don't know.
No, I'm not saying go play it. I'm not saying, I just don't celebrate it like you won. You didn't. You don't win second or third.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What I mean?
Look, man. You're really good at what you do, but I have to discount some of the things you say because you're an Alabama fan.
Well, okay.
I mean, honestly, like you look through championship glasses, and you're not living in the real world. Well, you are now. You're living in the real world now. But like the other day, you said you wanted like a stadium size limit, like you had to have a certain amount of seating to be Division I or something. And I'm like, man,
well, there is. No, I was saying there is a stadium size limit. It's 17,000, which is ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
It's 30. It's 30,000 now, but it used to be you have to average. Okay. You have to have a 30,000. Say you have to average 17,000 a game to be Division 1A. Yeah.
Kibbe Stadium in Moscow, Idaho. The Idaho Vandals, a wooden dome. That's my grail. 16,000. That's on my bucket list, man.
Yeah.
The Kibbe Stadium, the dome.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, you should do the Fargo Dome. If you're going out that far, do the Fargo Dome too. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be a bucket list thing. I'm just saying those people that are playing in 16,000 seat arenas, that's a different world than P4. It's a totally different world. I'm just trying to establish the fact that just like in 1979 when they split Division I and 1AA, they split it. Half the teams went, and it was only like 69 at the time that went to Division 1A, and 75 went to 1AA. Now 1A has grown to 135. It's time to split it again. That's all I'm saying. I think there's a big difference. We get a break. We'll come back. Final segment is next. Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
It's softball time in Alabama, and the best place for your travel softball team is to play with USSSA softball. Not only for the best travel team tournaments, but for recreational softball tournaments all around the area, as well for your high school level softball team. Plus, the USSSA National Championship this year is at the Gulf Shore in Orange Beach and the Foley Softball Complex. Now, for more information, visit alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. That's alfastpitch.uSSSA.com.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the exact machine for you. Now, whether it's new construction or daily work environments or an area that's been neglected for far too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you get the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Call Valley Equipment and ask them for more details on how they can help you out today. All right, welcome back to the Abraham Show. We've got about a minute. Fires. Let's go back to the lines with Ray. Is it Ray Dog or just Ray? Ray, welcome in, man.
It is Ray Dog.
Oh, it's Ray Dog. John, you should know Ray Dog. Ray Dog is a legend in the doghouse. You've been doing this since you were born. What's going on?
Not much. Just hopped in the car, running some errands, and heard you talking about a toilet bowl. And let me tell you what is in the toilet bowl. The fact that Sam Darnold has to pay the state of California to play in the Super Bowl because of his tax bill.
Wait a minute. His tax bill was more than he wouldn't be the only one. His tax bill was more than what he made in the Super Bowl?
Yes. Because California has a state law that even if you're not being paid on that day, if you're in town on business, then your tax bill is due for every day you're in the state on business.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Ray Dog. Yeah, that's why so many players like playing in Tennessee, because there is no state tax. That's a thing in the NFL for sure. All right, that's going to do it for us. Till Dumare, have a wonderful day, everybody.
Scott Tyson here with your 97.7 ESPN The Zone Sports Minute. Tuesday night SEC basketball. Despite a late rally, Auburn would come up on the short end at home last night to Vanderbilt 84-76. The Tigers, who trailed by 14 points in the second half, would pull within 4 with 2:42 remaining.